Yes, family. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Rosera Menin. One perfect balance. Welcome to another special edition of Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. Y'all already know. It's that time. This is a Monday, the 16th of May. I don't usually give the date, so there must be something significant about today that we're even talking about it. But definitely welcome. Again, let me just put my phone on vibrate so it doesn't. We're not actually on a call from very influential individual. Yeah, so put it on pause right there, so at least I could still capture that moment when it comes through. Yes, so I trust everybody is well. Had a wonderful rest weekend. To use that word loosely, weekend. Just saying it sometimes, just be like, ugh. But I trust that the experience of last night with the full moon and the lunar eclipse between the house of Scorpion and Saggy was as satisfying to you as it was for me personally. It was majestic. It was energetic. It was, in a sense, it was renewing. But greetings to you, Jackie. I see you. Jade, what up? What up? One love, family. Zumuni, Rastafari. I see you, Paula. Barry, I see you too. Yes, the goddess in the building. Yes, it's good to see you too. Coalition of United Parties. It's about time. Yeah. / Beijing Free Party. That slash, you don't need the slash. The first part is sufficient. It's a coup. COUP. Yeah, that's right. It's a coup. And it's funny you should do that because that's the direction we're going in tonight. What up, more? Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. So we got a few things here on the list of things to touch on. I want to put it all in tonight in a very concise manner. So we going to squeeze this in tight. So as usual, in the meantime and in between time, I need y'all to tell a friend to tell a friend. Politically Incorrect is up and running. We in the building. So we ain't wasting no more time. Dan, I see you. Greetings, family. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. Politically Incorrect in the building. I give thanks for all of you, for making it happen, going through this experience with me personally. And because for me, let me just say this real quick. For me, it's be important because y'all take your time, take your energy, and you come on here, man, and you support from near and far, from Barbados to the region to Europe. I got to shout out to all my European people locking on because it'd be like 1 a.m. when they come on. I think they're like 5 hours ahead of us. They be staying up to like 1 a.m. just to catch Politically Incorrect live. Yes, they could watch it on the replay, but from what I was told, they said don't be the same energy. They want to be right here, right here. So tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell a friend and tell a friend, family. Politically Incorrect in the building. We're bringing a message tonight, though, a different kind of message, man. This is KRS-One dropping some knowledge in the studio live. Tell a friend and tell a friend.
Yeah, let's get it going in here. This is what I'm saying.
Check the message.
This album started.
Let's get this going, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Don't fall for it, family. It's a chain of events.
Keep your head up, never let them get you fed up. You just step up, get your rep up, get your cash up, get your check up. The whole system's a setup. It's time we really get up. We've been about this revolution from the time we met up. Take it back, I got my fist up. Malcolm X in '88. But revolution only works for those that will participate. You are great, they are fake. Yo, it's time to demonstrate higher level mental states. Conscious people congregate. Show the love, not the hate. This is basic, no debate. But these people are debating and they hating. They should wait. It was bickering amongst ourselves that got us in this state. Yeah, the truth is inconvenient, but the truth is never late. You can't see what they be doing, how they thinking, how they moving. You can't see what they pursuing, making claims none are proven.
Tell a friend.
Don't fall
Tell a friend, family. Don't fall for it.
Don't fall for it. We can see who is the enemy. Sovereignty's the remedy. You don't need telepathy, it's white supremacy.
Sovereignty is the remedy.
Don't fall for it.
Sovereignty
Don't fall
is the
for it.
remedy, family.
Don't fall for it. Bringing the raw, doing a tour. Government officials bringing the law. You never see what you never saw. 303, open the door. Knowledge reigns, that is the game. Ignorance, that is insane. Don't fall for it. The reps and the Dems are the same. This one's shooting
All
us
the
up.
same.
That one's locking us up. This one got us stuck. That one's out of luck. You can front if you need to. The cycle never ends. No justice, but in 4 years they hyping us again. Don't fall for
Don't
it.
fall for it,
Don't
family.
fall for it. Don't fall for
Don't
it.
fall for it.
Don't fall for it. If you thinking and you earning and you drinking and you burning and you really not concerning with the news and what they learning, don't fall for it. Don't
All
fall
kind of
for
stuff
it.
going on in the
Don't
news.
fall
Don't
for
fall for it,
Don't
family.
fall for it. If you love it, never hate it. You agree it, don't debate it. HBCU educated.
KRS
You agree
One.
it's highly rated. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Don't fall for it. Yo, me, I'm not a fake dude. I'ma keep it real. They see through it all and America needs a heel deal. America ain't really sick. This is what it really is. Gunshots and cages for black and brown little kids. Now they acting like they not the cause of how we live. Do not tell me what you gonna do. I can see what you did. Look at her. Look at him. Look at them. Look at me. Do you see our interests represented in society? No, you don't. And you won't. Because democracy's a joke. Every 4 years.
Democracy's a joke.
Nothing changed but the Range Rover switching lanes.
Lanes.
Over. I remain the flamethrower. Knowledge reigns. Game over. Don't fall
I remain
for
the
it.
flamethrower.
Don't you fall for it. Rodney
I
King,
remain the
George Floyd,
flamethrower.
man, we all saw it. So don't protest with defiance, but don't move with self-reliance. While the soul is being silenced for the religion of science. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. If you thinking and you earning and you drinking and you burning and you really not concerning with the news and what they learning,
Don't fall for it. Don't fall
Don't
for
you
it, family.
Don't fall
Don't fall for it,
Don't
family.
you fall for it. There's no justice in the courts. We are always taking shorts. They can shoot us like a sport, and it's our trust
Brother
what they want.
Charles,
Don't fall for
I
it.
see you. Shout
Don't
out
you
to all
fall
the
for it.
Dominican people.
Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Take it up.
Take it down now. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, family. All the hype in the media.
Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it.
Yes, don't fall for it, family.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be
Don't
afraid.
be ashamed. We want black power.
Don't fall for it.
We want black power.
We want black power.
We want black power.
We want black power.
Black power.
I had to play this, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's give me 2 more minutes. Let's give me 2 more minutes, fam. I'm jump right into it. I had to. Woo. This is where the energy coming in, man.
This is not a regular. This is that boom, blah, blah, blah. Some they call it secular. I just call it black, black, black. Marcus Garvey, Bookman, Dottie, bring that army. Black, black, black. Malcolm X and Kwame Ture. This is where I'm at.
Yes.
If you want to talk to me about black, black, black. Haile Selassie the first.
Rastafari. Let's talk about that.
Yanni Maroon and all the Maroons. Let's talk about that.
The Maroons.
The real Underground Railroad. The first subway for black, black,
Sovereignty,
black. The
family.
freedom train begins with your brain. Get in on track. Whether justice or injustice, how do you react? Can you stand there laughing when they shoot us in the black, black, black? This is what some rappers sound like every time they rap. I'm raising up the red and the green and the
Black, black, black.
Even with no cops in the hood, we still hear click, click,
Clack, clack, clack.
I cannot forget my ancestors just because I rap. Look at me from top to bottom. KRS is black, black, black.
Straight up, man. KRS is black, black, black. Yeah, we're going to leave it at that point till we continue on this. I'm going to just pull out from the top all again, man. Shout out to KRS One. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the family. Peace, Islam to the Moors. You know, my people. Yeah, y'all know who y'all be. Sabir, I see you. Give thanks, man. Give thanks 100. Like 100. Like this thing happening. I'm not even going to talk about it yet. It's just going to surprise people, man. But family, give thanks for staying and tuning in. For those who actually logged on and stay on. I know that some people like, why you don't know, Listen, family. We got some in-house work to do, man. Some cleaning up to do, man. Like I said, don't fall for it, man. This is about black, black, black. I'm just saying that from the standpoint of what we accept is a term, but reality is about facts, facts, facts. And some of the facts are that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and misled. You know what I mean? So a lot of misinformation that we've been spoon fed from inception. And it just goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. I mean, killed 10 people in New York Saturday. Sad. Well, man, Irvin, I don't want to even touch that first, because as far as I'm concerned, that's a false flag operation. I mean, if people did indeed lose their life, condolences to the family. But I know the enemy we're dealing with, man. That's why, and I was telling someone, why you think that video clip is of him just in the car, parking lot, supermarket, sees the white guy, apologizes to the white guy, and then cuts off. I mean, who cut the video off? Where's the rest of the video? Where's the video with him, allegedly trying to commit suicide, but apparently he couldn't operate the gun at that point. He couldn't get the gun to work. Or him, look, man. Anyhow, family, we got to look at this from a very strategic standpoint. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. And see, this is what they do all the time. So look and see what's going on in the world that this is going to distract you from. I mean, out the blue, guy drive 200 miles. Look, man, I'm not even talking about it. I mean, like I said, if family people have lost their lives, my condolences, man. Like I empathize with that. But as far as I am concerned, that's a false flag, man. And nobody can tell me nothing different. That's just like the minister giving out a weed whacker, a blower, and a chainsaw this weekend to some youths in Parish Land. Big up to the youths in Parish Land, though. I wish y'all had chokehold him for a lot more. You should have got a contract with that. As a matter of fact, you should have got the minister to give you a contract to cut a few people's houses in that area, including the other minister who lives up there. Yeah, I ain't gonna call his name. In that house in the corner. You know who I mean. Yeah. Not only that, y'all should get the contract to clean the roundabout by the airport. Yeah, that's some big money, man. You know what I mean? Clean that up every 2 weeks, cut that, prune it, make sure it look a certain way. And a few other contractors should have given you all and enough equipment. You know what I mean? It's okay to give a man a fish, man, but tomorrow he gonna still be hungry. But anyhow, that's none of my business. But that's like a false flag as well, trying to save face in the public eye. Mr. Abram, Wilfred Abram, whatever your name is, couldn't care less. But you cats is clowns as far as I'm concerned, man, for real. But we gonna get into this real quick, family. There's things I really want to touch on, including a link I want to share with you in case y'all have not seen it. There's an article in Barbados on the Ground, and it was, I believe, penned by Marsha herself, Hines Lane, and it outlines in a chronological order a chain of events that happened at the Government Industrial School from the time she came on board. And so I just want to drop that in the comments here as well for those who have not seen it. It's pretty lengthy, but I suggest if you haven't seen it as yet, you copy the link. It's right there in the comments. You click on it. You go download it, get a copy, whatever. And if not, you can always WhatsApp me and I can send you a file as well. But when y'all start to read the chain of events, like I said, in a chronological order of the events that happened at the Government Industrial School, you start to read those and realize how long it's been going on and the efforts that were made by herself and others to inform the minister, Mr. Wilfred Abraham, whichever one it is, and also the prime servant, who is fully aware and have not up to now addressed it, which is obvious. Someone told me that she doesn't want to meddle in other ministers' departments. She doesn't want to micromanage, although she's skilled at doing that. The reality is, at some point soon, you're going to hear her. I'm sure, because I keep saying it enough times. She's going to jump out there. She don't have a choice. She doesn't have a choice. So, Wilfred, again, this document outlines so much. I mean, it says so much. And by the way, if your heart kind of weak and you get emotional, I'm going to advise you in the early, maybe read it in pieces, because to read the full document is going to invoke several emotions. And I must forewarn you, this particular document is sensitive. It's sensitive. One of the major points for me was when they talked about the breakfast aspect of things with the boys and going to school. and the time breakfast is served in relation to school and what is served for breakfast. Again, this is over a period of time, and these events were documented and highlighted, and they were sent to the minister. Yes, Mr. Wilfred has all this information already, and he had this information way before there was even a picture about a young lady naked in the cell. And I really hate going back to that, because a lot of information even about that now is resurfacing. A lot of details about that is emerging, and the public of Barbados really never fully understood what happened in that situation. As a matter of fact, what was the justice that was given to this young lady for having her place in this situation? Remember, he came out a few weeks ago and said that when he did the investigation into that particular allegation, he found no wrongdoings. I want us to keep remembering that. Let us not forget this. Mr. Wilfred Abram, whatever, was fine and okay with the situation. The young lady stripped naked in this cell. And like I said, as far as he's concerned, this was fine and normal. It was interesting because it was so normal. It was so normal, according to his investigation, that, he found it very necessary to release her immediately, which is funny. Well, if this is normal, Mr. Wilfred, why did you release her? Why did you hush it up and sweep it under the rug? There was, anyhow, we're going to get into that in a little bit. But in the meantime, and in between time, hang on a second. Okay, that's what that's at. Okay, that's what's going on there. Okay. Let me see how that unfolds. Anyhow, family, the reality is the Government Industrial School has started this investigation, and like I reported last week, the principal has been released, and we asked the question on Friday night to the minister. Tell us, what exactly does that mean? So he came out on Saturday with a statement. I'm not sure if he had it prepared before I asked the question or not, before we asked the question. But nevertheless, he responded to the question. And if I'm not mistaken, he said that this is normal procedure in these situations. He has been sent on leave so as not to bias the situation, I suppose. But I have a question again, Mr. Wilfred. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me say this to you. First, I want to acknowledge our divine light present with us. She knows who she is. I've not seen you in a minute, but I've always felt your pre-essence and your preeminence. On that note, let me continue to say this. So you're going to send home the principal because you're doing an investigation into the whole Government Industrial School. So you send the principal home on leave, although there's a court order against him and some of the young ladies. All right, fine. But the staff that was committing the crimes that were alleged are still at work, which is funny because you got the deputy principal still there. I don't see why she's or he's necessary. If you send the principal, they should be going too. As a matter of fact, I think some of the staff and some of the other people who are present, including the board, should be all suspended pending this investigation, because the last thing you want is people who are directly involved in the alleged crimes to be amongst the people investigating in these crime scenes in the event that they try to badger, misdirect, mislead, or better yet, or worse yet, rather, misinform those doing the investigation, who, by the way, have no real history in child psychology or understanding the facility from a standpoint of a social worker. So this investigation is flawed from the beginning, Mr. Wilfred. Mr. Wilfred, I can't get through to you enough. I don't understand if you ain't listening. You don't be plugged in. This ain't making no sense. However you look at this, right? It makes less sense each and every time. And the more you come out and say stuff, it makes it even worse. I mean, so you say home the principal because this is standard practice. Can you show me where in the bylaws of the Government Industrial School or the Ministry of Home Affairs, where it states that upon an investigation being done in a government institution, that the requirement is that you send the principal on leave. Can you show the people of Barbados which legislation, which document illustrates that that is normal practice for, or normal procedure for such a thing as this? We want to see the document. Can somebody who works in the ministry, or one of my inbox research crew, or anybody else here who's watching, who knows what's going on, can somebody please send me the file, post the link in the Constitution or whatever else? And speaking of Constitution, I'm going to touch that in a minute. Can somebody please show me where it says that Wilfred Abram has the supposed to suspend the principal based on these kind of investigations? I got a few lawyers on here, although one particular one ain't really happy right now with me. And that between we though, family. We a lot of things happened since we last spoke, and we do need to catch up on that. And I gonna connect with you, but I ain't sure right now what's going on. And this thing getting real ticklish because Mr. Wilfred is not doing what he's supposed to do. He's continuing the same routine he was doing before. Nothing that makes sense. So please, somebody, Mr. Wilfred, we want to see the document that say this is normal procedure. As a matter of fact, we want to see the whole document that outlines what you are supposed to do in a situation like this. We want all the documents. We want transparency. Remember, your prime servant said she came in on transparency. Well, we want that transparency. We are requiring you to provide us with those documents to show us that. We want transparency. That's what's up. Inquiring minds want to know. That's what's up. On that note, let me go and jump into this other part right here, because I see that you got the lady from the what do you call it? The board of the child care board, kind of running things now. Now, I don't know her personally. From what I'm hearing, she's supposed to be, one of the good ones that help children a lot. Yeah, that's good stuff. All I'm gonna say is this, man. As far as resolving the issues at the government industrial school, the reality, the fact is, there's some people who need to be investigated separately, and there's some things that need to be resolved, including the idea of the young lady in the cell. That is going to be your Achilles heel, Mr. Wilfred. Let me just tell you that in the early. Don't call me a psychic, nothing like that. But I'm telling you now, and I have it on good authority, that is your Achilles heel. You are not going to escape what you did and how you handle that situation. You ain't going to escape that. I'm trying to help you, but you ain't listening. I told you resign, apologize to people of Barbados, save face, and I'm sure you'll be forgiven, because Barbadians are forgiving people. That's just the nature of the people. But if you persist on going on this road any further, right, you on your own, man. He's taking the 6 weeks to finish dig his grave. Greetings, brethren, Rastafari. I like how you put it. I like how you put it. No matter what he comes out and say in 6 weeks, right? Because he trying to buy time to retrofit Dodds to replace the girls, as if retrofitting Dodds and rehousing the girls is going to fix anything. You're going to rehouse the girls, transfer the staff, got the same problem. This guy is a madman. Listen, family, this guy is a mad man. He's mad. What he's suggesting is ludicrous. And if the people in Barbados sit back and accept this, like Chris said, we got to step up at this point and retake this. We got to take this situation. Since the day of John, the kingdom suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. There is no more sitting back on this. There's none. This is the international straw that's going to break the back of Barbados as a sovereign, independent, colonial nation. I guarantee you. This ain't going away, family. There was a talk show recently on one of those stations overseas. I don't remember the guy's name, Sugar D or something like that. I don't recall his name. Maybe Steve can help me with that. But they talked about corruption, and they had a few people on there discussing some issues in Barbados, including the land issues and whatnot, and the corruption that run rampant in Barbados. Have been going on. I think Mr. Corbyn said it, and for eons. But we've been talking this for a while, family. And I'm sure I put it in perspective on many occasions, going back with the information and documents, going back to the plantocracy that was established during the era of slavery or enslavement or the prison camp, whatever you want to call it. The reality is this, though. The corruption that goes on, that we talk about all the time, is being facilitated by individuals outside of the government. So understand that we can't point a finger at the politicians and not point fingers at the people who aiding and abetting, because they're not doing it on their own. And so now the question becomes, how do we really deal with this? Take the government industrial school, for example. The previous guy that was there before, like I said, when y'all read this document that was put out, listen, the link is for those now joining us, by the way. Thanks for coming in. I know you're coming in a bit late, but you got to replay this and go up earlier when we first came on. You can skip past KRS-One if you went into KRS-One, that kind of stuff. But there's a message in the song, by the way. There's always a message in the song. I know a lot of people tell me they don't like the music, I don't know, I might think, but there's always a message. There's always a message in what I'm doing. Don't get tight with it. Nevertheless, there's a document that I posted that's on the ground Barbados, and it's worth reading. Like I said, if the document is worth reading, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to put it out here briefly. It's long, but it's worth reading. However, if you're sensitive to certain things and information, I'm going to say that you read it, you read it, but you have to pace yourself. You have to pace yourself because the information is so sensitive. It's going to invoke a lot of emotions. I mean, when I was reading through this, I was on a roller coaster. I was on a roller coaster. I mean, I was on an emotional roller coaster. Like my girlfriend Trinidad, Heather Headley. I mean, that's a little plug right there for Heather Headley. If y'all don't know who Heather Headley is, go Google her. I was on an emotional roller coaster. And this is becoming such a sensitive. This is almost like the wisdom tooth that has gone bad in Barbados. There's nothing else you could do with this at this point but to extract it, because the pain that this is causing is unlike anything known to us. It's almost hard. It's almost mind-boggling to think that the DLP, BLP, all of them sat on this information for 32 years, did nothing. Y'all can imagine how many victims, how many young women and young men are pure victims of this sick, sadistic, sinister, evil experience called the government industrial school. And yes, there are people in Barbados that are saying, man, you can't be so harsh on this. Y'all are the problem. That's why I'm going to tell you. Y'all are the problem. There's no way possible you can tell me and get me to accept that locking up 13-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls, or 12-year-old girls, or whatever age for that matter, stripping them naked in a cell with nothing but concrete and a top seat to sleep on is going to be accepted as a form of correction. No way, no how. So the idea that we are accepting this and be normalizing this abuse tells us how sick we are as a society and how blindsided we have been in terms of calling right and calling wrong. We already know what time it is, so we ain't going on that road. So what I'm saying is that all that is necessary for evil to flourish, and trust when I tell you evil has been flourishing, is that the good people do nothing. And we have sat back and done nothing for quite some time. Enough is enough. I'm not here talking to those who disagree with me. I'm not here trying to convince anybody to change their opinion. If you feel that way, listen, I have accepted. And my elder's been telling me for years, Emmanuel, stop casting your pearls to swine. And I always felt that I overs that statement, but I had to reach a point where I accept that there's some people who are bent and intent on doing wrong and doing harm regardless. That's their program. Regardless of how they were programmed that way or who programmed them, that's their program. And the fact is, a lot of us have sat back and said nothing. We have gone on thinking, well, it don't bother me, so I good. Nah, nah, nah. We're going to just keep doing the work. It doesn't matter what they think or how they function. We have a responsibility, our fiduciary responsibility, to keep our brothers and sisters safe, especially the children. Especially the children. So, Mr. Wilfred, yeah, we want transparency. Since you're doing an investigation again and again and again and again, here we're going on. It's saying only principal on leave, although I personally know why he on leave. I show that ink in the police station ain't dry yet, but I know there's ink in the police station. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. So you could keep lying to the people of Barbados. If you don't come out and tell the truth, man, I'm going to have to tell them. Somebody going to tell me, well, Emmanuel, no, you're supposed to say, you're supposed to, no. No. Who does that? Nah, you can't reveal your whole hand, man. It's a strategy. I keep telling you, win wars with strategy, not emotions. I don't want to emotionally rile up the people of Barbados to do what? To go out there and get themselves hurt, to justify what China and government of Barbados probably have planned, because they give them a whole bunch of military equipment. You think that equipment there for jokes? They got plans for that. So rather than having the people react, we're not going to react. We're going to strategize, and our action, we're going to have an action plan. That's what's up. That's what's up. But I'm going to say this much. We want transparency. We want the documents, Wilfred, that you say this is standard procedure. Show us where this is in writing. This is standard procedure. We want to see the whole standard procedure that governs this investigation, so we will know that you're doing what you said you would do, although we know you ain't doing that. Again, you taking 6 weeks to dig your own grave while you just quit while you ahead. But nevertheless, go read this document. Like I said, that's on Barbados on the ground. I suggest you download it, copy it before they try to get rid of it. Because, they do that sometime. Next, you go looking for it and they'll say that, this site is not found, 404. Go copy this, PDF it, save it as a PDF, whatever you got to do. And like I said, read it carefully, but with caution, because it is very sensitive and there's a range of emotions that will be invoked upon reading this document. I mean, I don't even, I could pick a point here now and jump into it, man. I mean, when they talk about giving the people spam and biscuits, I mean, you know what? The girls who were in some situations where they're finally being raped and molested and then charged with wandering and try to escape the abuse, then to be taken down to the government industrial school and raped some more. Literally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, being raped by a system. Family, look, go copy this document, family. I'm telling you, go copy it. I ain't saying nothing else about that. Go get a copy of this and read it, share it with your groups, families, spread it across Barbados, because the only thing saving Wilfred right now is that not too many people know what's going on. So the responsibility is on everyone who's watching to tell a friend. If you hide this information, you're complicit. And if you're complicit, I ain't got to tell you, you are the problem. You're definitely part of it. And it's simple as that. Why is this all culture, family? We call it culture, but is it really all culture? I had this conversation this morning, and I realized that we have adopted so much wrong and call it our culture. And again, I got to go on the same message. You quick to hear a song on the radio, about killing black people, black man kill a black man, or degrading our sisters, and the young ladies following the music and following the videos and doing the same thing. And the reality is, this is what the government is allowed to push. But if I write a song right now, right here in my studio, and say, you know what, I want to kidnap a tourist. Yeah, kidnap a tourist, kidnap a politician. You hear that? Nah, they ain't playing that on it. They're not playing that on the radio. They ain't playing that on the radio, man. Nah. You write a song talking about go kill a homosexual. Nah, you can't. Nah, Rastaman, they can't play them tune there. They're not gonna play those tunes there. You ain't, matter of fact, you liable to get a knock on your door. But it's okay for some reason for a black man to write a song so he can kill another black man. I'm gonna kill this woman. I'm gonna degrade this woman. This I know, and we have, and this is our culture now. So we play this music on the radio. All these DJs be talking this stuff. Yeah, man. 98.1 Slam. All of them, man. We calling a spade a spade. That's where we at, family. We gotta call a spade, man. And we promote this as our culture, and we see our youths going astray from early. And we wonder how the youths like that? Why they ain't listening? Why they disrespectful? The young people nowadays, they're real disrespectful. Da 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 da. No, they're not. We are the ones that's disrespectful. We give them the tools to be disrespectful, but we call it a culture. And the music, the movies. You watch these black movies, what it is all the time. Typically, your man is a drug dealer. The girl, she pimping, whatever. And that's the story. But we call it our culture. Nah, that ain't our culture. We have been hoodwinked and bamboozled. But the government allows it. You see, they allow it. They allow it. They control what's on the radio stations. They allow it. They allow it. A lot of these politicians, and they corrupt. Look, they talk corruption on the radio this weekend, and the guy talked how I want to keep the money in these offshore accounts and these American accounts and stuff. And it was an interesting interview, and I actually kind of listened to most of it, not all of it. I'll admit that. But what I would say is the point that I wanted to hear, which I really didn't hear, is, everybody seems to have this idea of what's best for Barbados. And most of these individuals, we talk with the problems, and the solution going forward usually doesn't come the way I feel it should come. And that's why I come on here and I just always say to people in Barbados, you got to tell a friend and tell a friend. These are things we got to talk about. Because there are people who are out there who have been victimized. There are people right here who are still being victimized, and they're in conversation. We can discuss the problem all day long. We need to start focusing on solutions. How we going to fix this? How we going to fix it? How we going to address these issues? We keep talking election. I hear people talk the Constitution. Until, like, right now, Barbados Republic, we don't have no Constitution. Listen, let me be clear on this, right? Unless, and I want you all to listen carefully to this statement I'm about to make right now. Unless you are probably part of the infrastructure of the plantocracy of Barbados, meaning you are one of the mechanisms that sustain and support that whole movement from when till now. The Constitution of Barbados does not, I repeat, it does not apply to you. That's like saying the policies of Massey applies to the goods on the shelves in Massey. The goods on the shelves in Massey are a commodity. They are just the goods that bring money into the business of Massey. The business of the Corporation of Barbados is owned and sustained by the stakeholders of that corporation, and the bylaws and infrastructure and constitution applies to them and them only. Stop talking about a constitution about Barbados. You are misleading the people. Yeah, he's talking to you. He's talking to you. I ain't gonna call your name. Not this time, but next time perhaps. Maybe not. I don't really call names, technically, unless you will, Fred. Yeah, stop doing that to the people, man. That don't apply to Barbadians as people of indigenous or those who were enslaved. See, this is my issue with a lot of conversation, right? And nobody talking about the fact that there's some wrongs that been done here perpetually. Yeah, we know the wrongs that going on now and the other stuff going on. Yeah, we know. But again, we could fix all those tomorrow, as long as these policy holders are still in place and the stakeholders are still in place. Barbadians going to suffer the same fate. I don't care what you say. We're going to address this from the field perspective. What's best for us, not what's best for those in the house. You better get out the house, is all I got to tell you. Let it burn. It's going to reach that stage, though, family. a chain of events. Follow the chain of events. For example, let me give you a little example. I can get to the comments in a minute because I see a whole lot flying up. We got some new garbage cans, family. Everybody loved them. Look cute next to the road. All uniform. All right, black and green. I surprised they didn't do yellow and blue, but nevertheless, black and green. No problem. But question: have anybody thought about one thing though? We already had we had a major rat issue in Barbados. I mean, rats all over Barbados like crazy. We have a serious rat infestation in Barbados. Nobody not really talking about it, but I'm telling you. But the rats were able to, climb up in the garbage can occasionally, jump in a bag, rip it open, and enjoy the spoils of your leftover Sunday dish, Monday leftover, Tuesday fast food, Wednesday chow mein, and maybe Thursday, Friday ramen soup for some people, or whatever else left back in the bag. They had access to this. These new fancy garbage cans now, ain't no holes in the bottom, ain't no climbing in the top. They fancy, they clear, they seal. Ain't no rats getting inside. So wait a minute. So we cut off the food supply for the rats. Now check this out from a farmer's perspective. We cut off the food supply for the rats. So what the rats supposed to do now? I saw a video recently, and I wish I had it here to play, of a rat in a mango tree in broad daylight eating a mango still on the tree. He didn't even wait for the mango to fall. Up in the tree eating a mango in broad daylight. You know why? Because the rats now got to find different food sources, and the other foods that they might have been ignoring before, they're going to have to tackle now, like farming, sweet potatoes. I personally lost a lot of sweet potatoes. I lost majority of my crop to rats. I lost a lot. I ain't gonna front. It's almost embarrassing, really. I'm a bit embarrassed to even say it, man. I was shocked when I went to dig what I found, what I saw. It's like, what the hell? Move away all the bush and realized that the rats were there before me, man. It was just like, wow. The soil was perforated, man, hole after hole after hole. I said, what the hell? Live and learn. But the rats gonna have to start going at foods that they were not interested in. So the farmers know the melons getting eaten up. Yeah. Papaws and them things getting tackled. So any monkeys don't gotta worry about is the rats now too. Rats everywhere, but the food supply for them has cut off. So they gotta seek. So your garden at home, you gotta watch your garden, family. Now the rat droppings and the urine is even more detrimental to your health than corona. But nobody ain't telling you that though. And then a vaccine for leptospirosis. Don't get tight with this thing, family. These people, chain of events, family. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Food security is the priority, but how can we have food security with a rat infestation when the rats now starting to eat the food that you planning to secure your own security? Now I'm repeating that, put it on replay. We have a serious issue here, family, and these ministers out talking, and you ain't seeing the action going on. A lot of farmers right now, can you believe the farmers got to be negotiating with the Water Authority for water for agriculture? Imagine the farmers right now got to be sitting down having conversations with Water Authority to get water for farming, irrigation purposes. You can imagine that? The farmers now got to negotiate for water. The farmers should always have access to water. It should be and the thing is, it's not a shortage of water, it's a monetary conversation. How much you plan to charge, that is too much, man. That's too much. Well, take it or leave it. So wait a minute. So you see what's going on, family? So wait a minute. That's equivalent to the nurses having to come and march for wages for being nurses on the front line in a pandemic. You think the nurses should ever have to come out and march? And by the way, where in the world is Caswell Franklin? I ain't hearing nothing with nurses. Whatever happened to the nurse petition? Can anybody update me? Because I don't really read the paper every day. So perhaps there was some resolution and I wasn't aware. As a matter of fact, I went to one of the clinics recently. I had the fortunate and unfortunate experience of being in one of the clinics recently. And although I felt it was in the worst state, I even saw a pregnant woman laying on the floor. I shouldn't say that though, but it's the truth. And yes, I have a picture of it. And yes, I have a picture of it, Mr. Minister of Health. A pregnant woman laying on the floor because there's no bed for her. By the way, hooked up to IV. I just gotta laugh because if I don't laugh, I tell you I would say something crazy, man. What I'm gonna say is this, family. We got issues and we got a lot of stuff we gotta address. But unless we start looking at this thing realistically, we ain't gonna get it. I ran into a male nurse with an accent. Obviously, Ghanaian accent. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ghanaian. Yeah, Ghanaian. Those from Ghana are Ghanaians. And I think I pronounced it right. But my prime servant, she'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure. I ain't got a problem being corrected, you know. That's my thing. I ain't got an issue with that. But don't miss the message trying to focus on my corrections. Get the message. You can imagine I asked this man, where you from? You got to, at first he didn't want to talk. He act like he ain't got a clue what I was saying. Like he don't speak English, although he speak it very fluent. So they asked, where you from? The man there and tell me, oh, I'm from right here. I'm from Barbados. I said, wait, my man, you from Barbados? The man tell me he from Barbados. Clearly the man from Ghana, clear accent and everything. You can't even hide it. So I said, weird. Anyway, I ain't gonna touch on it further. The point I want to make, though, is that there's a chain of events, family. We got to follow the chain of events and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Because if we're not paying attention, if we don't have a strategy, family, we're going to get caught like 5 virgins who were there initially, but did not anticipate the chain of events. We didn't anticipate the chain of events. And therefore, we found ourselves now wanting. The rats is a problem. Somebody said the mongoose is the problem. I want to go to some of these comments, though, family. Comment. Listen, make sure y'all like the page. By the way, I got to thank you all. I don't remember how many thousands of followers it has now. The thousands of followers. I got to go back and check. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when it came out the other day and it notified me like there's X amount of thousands of followers. Like I said, there are more people following than liking. I know. I whatever reason is your thing. I don't get into it. But to think that we started this with an old cell phone, right here, old faithful, an old cell phone and 2 clothespins atop the ironing board. All I can say is, we give thanks. We give thanks. It's come a long way, family. And from the first 10 faithful, and by the way, I got to give thanks for those, like I said, who come on every time we on faithfully. The faithful ones don't ever miss a program, and they on here. I give thanks for that strength. It's because of you that I am here. We make this possible, and now there are thousands of people who are following. Thousands. I couldn't even believe it. So I say that to say, tell a friend, family. Let us keep the dialogue going. Let's find a way forward because we have to save ourselves from this situation. Everybody's doing things without thinking long term. Yeah, be thankful for the roads being a little smoother, less hassle on the car and the shocks and whatnot. But the truth is, a lot of the roads that want fixing, y'all not even really looking at. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? The roads, when we come off the highway on our way home, them other roads is a mess in some cases. But nevertheless, we're thankful for the roads. But a lot of more pertinent issues we have that are not being addressed. This rat issue with the agriculture and the farmers and whatnot is a problem. Big problem. The water supply for agriculture in Barbados, not a big problem. And are you aware? Are you sure? Because I see you on TV recently talking about some stuff with some projects and this and that. But family, when the farmer got to be begging for water and it's so discouraged, you can imagine what's going to come next, family. You know what's going to come next, man. We got to fix this. There's a global food war here in BIM. Omar, let me tell you something, family, on a serious note. We know that's their strategy. Again, 5 virgins, 5 smart, 5 slow. They weren't we could use the word foolish, but they did not look at the full scope of the magnitude of the situation. You see, that's how they ended up missing the mark. We got to look at the whole picture, follow the chain of events, family. You got to follow the chain of events. And that's what's going to help us recognize what really going on. By the way, let me say this. I am aware of some phone calls that were made recently. And yeah, I got your message, man. I got your message. I hope you got mine. I hope you got mine. Blessed are those who walk not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand up in the way of the sinner, nor sit up in the seat of the scornful, but his and her delight is in the law, of his imperial majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. And in that law, I and we gonna meditate day and night. You can make it rain with emotions. John, you ain't telling me? You ain't telling me that at all. You're talking to me on that, John. You kidding me? Why no shit? I didn't even say nothing. So trust me when I tell you, we didn't have that issue at all. At all. We do what we gotta do. But the farmers not necessarily connected on that realm. And that's why what we do here is so important. It's so important. Harnessing energy, kinetic energy, coming together, unifying, not just unity and saying, yeah, we together. Nah. Connecting with divine consciousness is the level of unity we're talking about. Because in so doing, trust when I tell you, man, we speak and things happen. You see Jericho wall come down. Simple as that. Just by the mere action of a faithful few. Just a faithful few. We only looking for a faithful few. No, ain't going to be a big set of numbers like the 30,000. Just the faithful 300. The man with the one knee down and the one knee up. I keep saying that, and I know a lot of y'all ain't quite grasping what that means. The man with the one knee down and the one knee up. For those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Those who have eyes to see, let them see. Divine order. Welcome to the first world order. Because ain't nothing new under the sun. Remember that. So while they preaching new world order, they ain't nothing new, family. Don't let them distract you. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It's the first world order. First, Haile Selassie, the first, the power of the Trinity, the first power of the first Trinity, that we dealing with. My brother said square, but I can't say square, not say circle. You got to put the square back in the circle. You got to take the circle out the square. That's the problem. They try to put a frame around the circle. Nah, that ain't how it go. That how it go. The square fits inside the circle. We know that all. We don't put a round peg in a square hole. You put a square peg in a round hole. Y'all let that one fly over your head. Let me not talk that mathematics though. Melchizedek. Man, y'all going deep tonight. But family, now I want to get to these notes real quick though, because time is goodbye quick, right? Yes, speaking of circle, everything come together. Speaking of circle around the square. Sisters, I gotta say this to the sisters, man. You know, when I see the situation with our young ladies now, especially the GI, the government industrial school scenario, and what's happening, you know, I use the word loosely. The queens gotta step up, and I'm using that word very loosely, very loosely. You know what I mean? Real thing. But the sisters got to step up on a different level and raise the bar, because the images that's being put out in the public for us to see, our young children, our young girls. The funny thing is, you go downtown in a Muslim store, you see the Muslim man behind the cashier or his wife behind the cashier and his children running the store. And if you see the type of clothes that they sell black women, if you see the type of clothing that they sell black women, they themselves would never wear. They would never wear. You call it the body dropout or whatever. I don't even know what to call it these days. My point is, you see all these clothes, cleavage, whatever. And these is clothes. This man wearing a whole 3-piece bed set behind the cashier. You know, he got the pillowcase. She got the pillowcase on, the fitted sheet, and the flipping blanket down to the ankles. but you selling pom pom shorts and open top back out shirts for all young ladies. And the funny thing is, this is the worst part. And I won't even call the store name. They sell kids clothes. They advertise that they're selling kids clothing. And if you see the type of female kids clothing that these Muslims, they calling a spade, down the road, claiming to be righteous people, following the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and you see what they selling or people to wear, or children, or young female children. Come on, somebody talk to me, man. Somebody talk to me, man. But as Emmanuel said this, Emmanuel, and they got my own black people. Imagine this, running to the Indians, telling the Indians, Emmanuel racist, right? Emmanuel don't like Indians. Emmanuel don't like Indians, right? He racist, right? Don't give him more work. He racist. I hear you talking about y'all, man. It's like, wow. Black people. Yeah, I get your message. It come back to me. Yeah, they told me what you. And here's the funny part. They came and told me what you told them. Hey, that shit. Pardon me, Haley. They came and told me what you told them. And the funny thing is, I remember the conversation I had with you, but I see how you spin it and put it in a different context. You see? Yeah. Yeah. Obatala. I give thanks for divine guidance throughout my liberty. That's why my confidence comes from knowing my divinity and my own destiny. You see? But keep talking, though. I hearing all your messages, man. All of them. I'm proud to know that I'm on your lips, man. Can you see me now? Sick, man. But that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. We ain't supposed to talk about these things. We're supposed to be quiet about it and just be the servants that we're supposed to be. Islam is not about that. That's not the teachings of the Prophet. That's not the teachings of the Prophet, who, by the way, was in league with Bilal, the Ethiopian. Yeah. The footprints that was ahead of his when he went to paradise. Yeah. That's not consistent with the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Alhamdulillah, peace be upon him. That's not consistent. Where'd that come from? But you downtown selling the most ratchet looking clothes to all children for the sake of $1. And some of us so sick, we support you in your sickness. Look, man, y'all could look, whatever y'all say about me, whatever y'all say, I don't even care at this point, man. But what I will tell you is that you will not sell my people into slavery again. I could tell you that. Prophecy is being fulfilled. Compare their dress code. Compare the Muslim dress code. Man, look. You see, it's a cultural thing. There's a reason why they dress that way in the middle of the desert. We ain't in the middle of the desert. We out here in a tropical sense, a paradise. But, look at how the Catholic order, right, is controlled. Look at the nuns. Look at the women in the Catholic order, the nuns, how they dress. And then compare it to how... Another conversation, man. We're missing the mark. We have to stand up and take over what is rightfully ours, man. Ain't no sense having another conversation right now. And anybody, any culture, whether Muslim, Jew, Gentile, or whoever, that have an issue with Africans regrouping and practicing their African spirituality that was here from the foundation of this world, that every other religion is a child of, Anybody who has an issue with that has an issue with us and have plans on enslaving us. Anybody. So anybody who is against you on your practicing your African spirituality, anybody that tell you that you're this or you're that because you speak out against all the injustices has been done to you and your people for centuries, anybody who has a problem with that and call you racist for speaking truth to power, they have plans on enslaving you. Here, Emmanuel Soso, straight talk. So as far as the corruption goes in Barbados and this and that, the reality is we should condone it, because I guarantee you, if a minister had a post, right, and he went that post and got the money and did all sorts of wrong and whatnot, and the people took him, Gordy, and put him in the square downtown and tar him to pieces, tar, not tear, in front of Parliament building, right, and leave him there for a few days, rolling up and down in Parliament on the new cobblestone, wherever they got down there in front of in the Hero Square, to the point where he got up, went and resigned and dragged himself home. I guarantee you the next minister that come in that position would not do the same thing. He would not. He would make sure he do the right thing by the standard of the people. But we just allow it to go on. We just even beg them for help. And they insult us by giving us the little job, housekeeping or cutting grass. It's like the guys in Parish Land again. I gotta go back to that, Mr. Minister. You telling me, right? You telling me that of all the people in Parish Land, all of your men in Parish Land, the only opportunity you could give them, right, is to get them a weed whacker, a chainsaw, and a leaf blower to cut grass? You mean to tell me, right, that them same young men in that video with you is not intelligent enough to get a job in some other sector of the society on a higher level? That all they good for is to cut grass? I plan to go up on our block door and see them same man, though, for sure. They plan to take a trip, because when it can't be free, you gotta come and reason with y'all, man. Y'all for real? Y'all let this clown come here and give one a weed whacker and a blower and a chainsaw? Disrespect? My man, you for real? We just grab at the crumbs, right? That man worth, look, my you brethren, when it worth more than that here, when it worth much more than that, much more than that. I bet you know enough youths in your community that would need a little book buy to go school, little shoes to go school and thing, books and stuff. How many families in your neighborhood got food going on, might need food, supplies, all that land around that area? Why did minister ain't give one a little 10 acre and tell him, look, here go a little tractor, some equipment and stuff? Why he ain't give y'all a piece of land to farm, to grow food, create employment for the youths in the community as well? Initiatives like that could work. Why he ain't do that? So they could at least feed the people in the community, you just to cut grass. Cut grass, a weed whacker and a blowing a chainsaw, Wilfred. You was a real clown for truth, though. Why you say so, man? Insulting the youths over and over and over. You mean to tell me that them youths ain't no more intelligent than that? Well, them youths look right with your man sport. I said, well, I'm sure he could do a lot more than that, man. All right, so you want the youth to cut grass. All right, no problem. No problem. In case of a hurricane, to prepare to do what? Cut on some branches? Okay. I hope you get them a check to buy the fuel to put in the weed whacker, the blower, and the chainsaw. So I hope you get them a check too, because it gotta take money, fuel. You know, why not get them a little pickup truck too with a little wrench on the front that they could do a little moving boat or whatever, rather than walking boat with this anyhow. I ain't touching that. Stop undervaluing our young people, man. Stop undervaluing the young people. Stop trying to devalue their wealth by insulting them with some tactic about cutting grass, debushing the neighborhood. It's an insult, man, to the integrity of the people for real, man, regardless of their intent to PS direct their actions according to the international signed document. Give them a small business. Man, he could get him a business. He ain't about that. Aaron, I see you, brother. They are conditioned to remain in the same status in society. Sure. Every time your man want work, get him a chance. Yeah, weed whacker. This is not the first time that the minister gave out weed whackers. So that's all he could do is give out weed whackers. Family, I ain't knocking the weed whackers. I ain't knocking it, but I'm not boasting about getting about the weed whacker. A lot of young people could do a lot better than this. I mean, all they could do is just cut grass. I even silence of the lamb. Ay, 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 ay. Children need some love and affection. Someone to listen to their stories and empathize with their plight. I totally agree. I bet them same youths on the block is some bright youths. They got business ideas. Could be art, could be musicians. Some might be even producers, want to produce film. Some might even be programmers, could write computer program. We'll never know because we don't get in the opportunity. Bet them youths on that same block could do great works and graphic designs and businesses, you know. We get them weed whacker, go cut some grass. The children should be allowed to travel around the Caribbean so they can absorb other cultures, make like an exchange program between the islands. Hamila had a similar thing going on with football with his sister from up in the Pine. I remember that where they would take youths from Barbados and had a football league in the Caribbean for the young people and would travel and play sports and stuff. And I don't know what happened to that, the Hamila Foundation, but Hamila was doing something similar like this, Andrea. It was really successful for a while. Shout out to Hamilton Lashley, why we added too, by the way, and the works that he's been doing in the community and at home and abroad. You know, great works, great works. I definitely remember the young lady. I forgot her name from the Pine as well. Wow, man, forgot her name. But she was doing a lot of work similar to that. And shout out to Shelly, by the way. Shelly also putting in work as well. Good people, man. Barbados is a society that praises the oppressor and the ones with the power. Is that so? Mother Teresa, no comment. Family, I'm going to tell you all this, right? They judge them, but wouldn't encourage them to be entrepreneurs and develop their own businesses. Look, there's a lot of the same community centers, right? Because a lot of the youth sometimes can't go different places because of different issues that they got caught up in school or the van stand or wherever. So a place at the youth entrepreneur place downtown, a lot of youth, I can't go there, big man called Mini Man from that side on par, but the same community centers, right, that they have. You can have the same youth entrepreneur place every week, 2 days a week. They might go to a center, maybe on weekends, and do a little program in this weekend center, the community center this weekend, or do this one next weekend. So people are interested who want to know how to start up and do certain things, have access to information, easily. You can do the Wi-Fi in the same community center so that people could come on there and log on perhaps. You can even do a little Zoom thing so that they can all log on simultaneously so that, you don't got to exhaust resources running on the place of Barbados from center to center to center. You can have it in one location and zoom in on a big flat screen. Like Bonga Lights, we get to Bonga Lights too. Let Bonga Lights come and do the projector work in these centers. Put up a projector on the screen and you can put the whole presentation right there. So the youth who interested could come in there, maybe a 4-week program, 4 Saturdays in a month at evening time, come in and take your notes and we get them a step by step way how to start your business from scratch to success and guide them. I mean, there's so much we could do, initiative and ideas. Of course, field initiatives are up and running. And yes, there needs to be a general meeting immediately, if not sooner, to put things in place. But we have a lot of ideas. I ain't going to come on here and keep giving the government the ideas because, they just going to run with it, but they don't have the energy to implement it. So it's a waste. So we need to put these things in motion ourselves, family. We do not need the government permission to use our community centers that they build with our money. We got to stop thinking like that and just take charge. Take charge. The minister don't run that. He don't run it. As a matter of fact, once we take charge and do our thing, trust me, he going to show up. He gonna gotta show up to save face because he can't be outdone in his own community. You're like, how comes y'all doing all this stuff? Well, why you didn't do it? You see, so trust me, he gonna want to come and take some pictures. He come and take pictures. That don't bother nobody. It wouldn't be Wilfred though, because he about to resign. We know that already. So, but whoever else, the point I want to make is, family, you cannot sit down on your hands and do nothing. Those days are gone. Gone. We got to take charge of our own community. Full stop. We got to start dealing with governance, governing our own community. So every community will have a governing body. Every community, and on that governing body will link with the other governing bodies in that parish. And then those governing bodies from that parish will have representatives for all parishes. And that's the tier system right there we're looking at. So that in the one body running the program, because every community has its own unique needs, different. Trust me when I tell you. And that's how we're moving forward. Fade. We focus, analyze, develop, and we're going to execute this. This is going to happen because it is already happening. Yeah. So coming to a community near you very soon is the Fade initiative. Remember, I told you that, family. We don't need to wait for no elections. We don't need to wait for no politician to knock on our door 5 years later, how many years later, to come and beg for no vote. We're not even interested in no voting. We're not even voting. Voting for who and for what? That has nothing to do. The plantocracy has nothing to do with us. We are the ones physically living on the ground. We are taking charge of that. Full stop. Full stop. Let them try to stop it. And we can see the ball that shoot Nelson. We can show them that clear. Clear. David Simmons. I ain't sure that going on with David Simmons, man. Family inherited political passions have grossly misled our people and created an avenue blind loyalty with no loyalty is royalty. So understand that if they ain't got your loyalty, they can't be royal. And the royalties for them, David Simmons' late father was principal of JS back in the 1950s. Is that so? It's be a whole family thing. We know that already, man. That's why we cannot trust them. Period. Hamilton lastly supported laws that were detrimental to our youth under PM Owen. Well, ISIS, you can't just tell me so. You are sure and prove that one day. I don't know, family. But what I know right now is that we have reached a point where we got to follow the chain of events, because a lot of things going on are all connected. So the question is, recognizing that, where do we go from here? The World Health Organization right now, this Buffalo shooting, for example, is going to take all the attention away from the World Health Organization and the constitution they want these countries to sign on to, giving them control of the countries in the event of a pandemic. Let me say this, family, if nothing else, right? One, directly, it has nothing to do with us. Indirectly, it has everything to do with us. So we can't sit back and sleep on it. If we, again, as sovereign individuals, do not establish our sovereignty and our boundaries and our territories so that they cannot infringe on it, they are going to infringe on it. And once they infringe on it, there's not much you can say or do except go to war. And unless you're prepared to war at that level, well, I ain't gonna tell you. We're not dealing with no normal people. I agree with you, Jackie. We ain't dealing with no normal people at this stage. So the key is to know yourself and recognize what needs to be done to safeguard yourself and your family, and by extension, your community, those who are like-minded in nature, because it's that time. And I can't stress that enough. And I'm going to continue to teach you this thing morning, noon, and night. What they're doing has nothing to do with us. But when they're doing start to infringe on us and our children, then we can't sit down on that, family. At all. That ain't happening. So I think I pretty much covered most of what I want to cover tonight. Like I said, this idea of the Constitution in Barbados as a republic. There's a walk coming up, and I heard a guy talking this walk coming up. Again, family, I am not, support who you give support to accordingly. But you can't beg the plantocracy to include you in their decision making when the decision making is to keep you enslaved. That ain't gonna work at all. So organized chaos is something I'm very much aware of, and I question a lot of stuff because this idea of the Constitution of Barbados, show me which black people, which black family in Barbados or people in Barbados who are, especially those who are oppressed, which constitution that is respected, that what, show me what constitutional right they currently have. Show me one show me which law applied to them. They still being taxed without representation, which is exploitation. They're still being marginalized, oppressed, depressed, segregated. I mean, the human rights violations is, look, if they could violate the rights of the child, of the children, especially your girl children, knowingly for at least 32 years, I'm not even going to go on before that, although we could go back before that. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. None. And that should apply more so to politicians, especially because most of them, if not all, are lawyers. You see where I'm going with this, family? Most of them is lawyers. You can't tell them the law better than they know it. But yet they keep violating it. And we keep letting them do it. And we keep sitting back and saying nothing. This is why I'm saying to you, follow the chain of events. Where do we go from here? No, we ain't coming on here and discussing the ills and the woes of all the past principles. And ISIS, I give thanks for it. Where we going with this information, though? What we going to do with this? What we doing with it? We talk too much. Where we going with it? We got the FADE program, family. Get on board. We ain't talking. We need to do more. All these groups they got, I about to delete half them off my phone. I was going through the other day. I did some already. Oh, hey, boy, just talking about the problems. I don't want to look. 20 groups and everybody's sharing the same information, just information on what's going on. Where are the solution conversations? So the groups have solution conversations, keep it at solution conversations. All the other information and misinformation and disinformation, keep it to the other groups, man. Keep that over there separate so that you can have a focus and a think tank. You want to converse on the solutions, the chit chat, idle conversations. Inbox somebody you want, friend, you bored. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Focus on the solutions and how we're going to implement those things. This is the problem. We're losing focus. Meanwhile, Winfred Abram could come and convince the whole Barbados. We can do another probe. I'm going to put my special people. We can get to the bottom of this. Oh, by the way, I sent the minister on leave, the principal, because this is standard procedure for these kind of situations. Oh. But we're going to keep all the staff in place. Well, that sounds strange, though, because the staff is the ones really committing most of the crimes. I mean, I ain't saying the principal innocent, but the staff probably more guilty than him. I'm just saying. These backwards thinking people, family, they don't even, I don't know, man. Yes, Richard, organization. We are out-organized. That's what it is. We're not outnumbered. We are out-organized. We ain't organizing properly, but we are organizing in FADE, though. Focus, analyze, develop, and execute. I give thanks for the FADE family, the initiatives, and yeah, though. Anyhow, family, if you wish to support the program, like I said, we on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for those who don't know, for those who don't joining us. Go back and rehearse the whole program tonight. Like I said, go and download that document from the Government Industrial School. Remember the one we had earlier? The one that talked about the events that happened over a chronological chain of events. There's just a few. There's a whole lot more, I'm sure. But go read this. You need to read this, dealing with Operation Save Space and Marsha, and recognize what has been going on and why we find ourselves in this position right now. For those now joining us, go check this page out. The link was posted earlier in the group. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post it again for those now joining us. I'm just going to drop this in. Let me see where I can drop this in here right now. Let me drop this in the comments below. For those now joining us, the link is right here for Barbados on the ground again. Oh, I see that. Okay, I see you. I see you. I see you. 10 steps ahead. Okay, I give you that. I give you that. I give you that. I give you that. Right on time. Yes, family. Download this. Go check it out. Go check it out. I can't stress this enough. You must check this out. It's a must, absolute must. Anyhow, Politically Incorrect is on 3 nights a week, Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Usually at 8, give or take, a couple minutes after, depending on whatever we're dealing with, technical difficulty or not. And if you feel like that's Atlantic time, by the way, Eastern Standard Time. If you want to support the program, you have a PayPal account, eBarelia@gmail.com. And if you want to actually send us an email, feel free to do so at politically.in.correct246@gmail also. And if you want to give us a call, the number is 246 area code 838-8253 is the number. That's the WhatsApp number. Feel free to send us a message or give us a call, local, regional, internationally. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't forget, tell a friend to tell a friend. Oh, and by the way, the shirts should be ready soon. We're looking to have them printed now. And oh man, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. I'm gonna post some shirts up on the page, or one of the admins might do so, and we can see how they're doing. Love, that's another fundraiser initiative because there's some things we need to get done, and of course, resources is always going to be the main thing. That's just the reality. And we ain't got nobody to give us no weed whacker and the blower on the chainsaw. Like, you know, we gotta go and look for our own fish when the day comes. So, anyhow, family. On that note, like I said, go download this document, read it. It's a bit sensitive, though. A range of emotions I personally felt, and I trust that you read it and understand the gravity of this situation. Let's follow the chain of events and figure out where we go from here. Have a plan, because if you fail to plan, your plan is to fail. Remember that. But there's a number of things going on, and yeah. So I'm here waiting on a phone call in a few minutes, and we are working on a particular ad if it comes through in detail for the paper this Sunday. Yeah, though. Yeah, though. That should be fun. We see how it goes, family. We're doing things. I'll keep you posted on this, though. Y'all be good. Yes, ISIS, we give thanks for the number. Again, 838-8253, area code 246 for those watching. Feel free to holler at us on WhatsApp, whether you're watching in Africa, Europe, Canada, America, wherever. Give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you. And tell us what you think about the program. Remember to tell a friend, tell a friend. Make sure you like, subscribe as well. Click on the notification bell, especially the notification bell, because that's how you get the little notifications when we go in live. Because apart from that, some people tell me they can't find it sometimes and it disappears and whatnot. But you know why. But in the meantime, family, like I said, we got to address a lot of these issues. Food security is priority. The rat infestation is an issue. We got to start finding ways to control that. The monkeys, somebody even said the mongoose. Mongoose is starting to show their face again in numbers, which I kind of had went down low because I wasn't seeing them for a while. But yeah. But the good thing about the mongoose is that they eat the African snails. In case y'all didn't know that, they eat African snails. So, Sammy, good to see you, man. Good evening to you too. Halam, I see you. Natasha, give thanks for your presence as well. And everybody who joining us again for the first time or just tuning in. Remember, this is only possible because of the actions of you coming on and sharing with your friends and family. So we give thanks for that continually. So let us continue to move forward in terms of getting that done. For these politicians and whatnot, we could go through the Kerry Simmons and the David Dis and the Paynes and on the Wilfreds and all of them. They're all the same. They're all the same. We need to focus on what we need to do and take charge of our community. We don't need to wait. We don't need no permission. We don't need none of that. We are numbers, much, much more than the few of them. Let's recognize our power and execute it accordingly. All right, family, on that note, I'm going to jump back into my video I was watching earlier. I mean, I got to pull this from the top again. I know a lot of folks may or may not love this one, but
don't be ashamed. We want black power. We want black power.
we want black power.
We want black power. We want black power. We don't have to be ashamed of it.
This is not a regular, this is that boom, blah, blah, blah. Some may call it secular, I just call it blah, blah, blah. Marcus Garvey, Bookman, Dottie, bring that army, blah, blah, blah. Malcolm X and Kwame Ture.
Yes, family.
If you wanna talk to me about blah, blah, blah. Haile Selassie the first, niggas, let's talk about that. Kaboom, Yanni Maroon and all the Maroons, let's talk about that. The real Underground Railroad, the first subway for black. The freedom train begins with your brain. Get in on track. Whether justice or injustice, how do you react? Can you stand there laughing when they shoot us in the black? This is what some rappers sound like every time they rap.
Kira S1.
And the green and the black. Even with no cops in the hood, we still hear click, clack. I cannot forget my ancestors just because I rap. Look at me from top to bottom. KRS is black. Get up, get out, speak out, reach out. This is what black about. Get up, get out, speak out, reach out. This is what I rap about. Get up, get out, speak out, reach out. Too many selling out. Get up, get out.
Too many
reach
selling
up,
out, man. Too
reach
many
out,
selling out.
Lift out. Get out. Time to ask the question now. Are you really black? It is not a mystery. We under attack. If you're chatting for free, you whole our people black. Time to put aside the fantasy and deal with fact. This is not the time to be talking all that crap. Those that talk that crap, are those that don't fight back.
Those that don't fight back.
Real skill, I never lack. Black is more a consciousness, the way you think and act. Yo, get up, get out, speak out, reach out. This is what black about. Get up,
Yes, family.
get out, speak up.
Time to get up,
speak
family.
out, reach up,
Get up.
reach out. This is what I rap about. Get up, get out, speak up.
That's
out,
right.
Reach up,
That's right.
reach out. Too many selling out.
Too many
Get
selling
up,
out, family.
Get out, reach out.
You can't talk
reach
with
out,
corrupt politicians,
reach
not
out,
talk people who
reach
support
out,
them.
Get out, lights out.
Hey, hold on, KRS. Hold on,
We
KRS.
stayed here and we begged the president. We begged the federal government. That's all we've been doing, begging. It's time we stand up and take over.
Hold on.
We have to do what every group in this country did. We got to take over the communities where we outnumber people so we can have decent jobs.
Take over the
So we
community,
can
family.
have decent houses. So we can have decent roads. So we can have decent schools. So we can have decent justice.
Kwame True. Yeah, family. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. We got to take over this thing, man. Real thing. I want to say this before I go, though. I should have said this earlier for those who might have logged off and missed this last message. Do y'all know, right? I kind of noticed something recently, man. And again, this is why they say what you gotta say. What you gotta say, man. Yo. I remember about a little over a year ago, I wanted to start importing onions, into Barbados. I went do some research and whatnot to find out that the people in Barbados, the government business aspect of the government that deals with agriculture and onions, have a monopoly on bringing in onions and reselling them at crazy prices. Although when they get a bit old, they drop the prices so significant it'll blow your mind. I mean, like, whoa, were you for real? The same one that you were selling that? Oh, wow. Anyhow, so they claim they do it that way to preserve the local farmers growing, which usually isn't the local farmers. It's really the old plantations that still grow onions by the acres. Another conversation, though. But recently, you got to find out that, but you got the Indians importing onions now, though, and selling onions in Barbados now, though. And I was saying to myself, wait a minute. They get to import onions now? Well, I don't understand. They wouldn't let me. They didn't want me to import. They didn't want me to do it. Telling me about restrictions and taxes and this and that and all kind of stuff. I was like, wow. But from what I understand, now Indians importing onions, and I notice equality in the onions in the supermarkets right now a bit. I ain't really sure. So I was questioning this thing to myself, but hold on a minute. Is this true? So if you let me ask a question to my community, is this true? Is what I want to know. That's all I want to know. Mr. Endar Weir, Minister of Agriculture, is that true? The Indians now importing and selling onions in Barbados, and Black Barbados. Let me ask you all a question though, like for real. All this money y'all be getting and stashing all these fancy Range Rovers when driving and stuff, like y'all have a plan? Talking to the wealthy Black Barbadians that just boastful about the little wealth, the little wealth, because I don't know if it's a lot. Well, I already know what it is, but when they got a plan, like when they got a plan, or like what's the plan? Yo, let me in on this, man, because this is crazy. This is crazy, man. Let me know what's going on. You know, the God got a plan, because if it is that we giving these contracts to everybody else except those who are indigenous of this land, who ancestors would have bled and suffered for this land, and everything y'all get now, y'all giving to the outsider. What's really the plan, though? I mean, what's really the plan? What's really the plan? Isis, I see you, man. Talma says she has to watch it over. I agree. A lot of stuff was said earlier you might miss on it. Seems like we all are right here on Politically Incorrect. I see you too, Jackie. Leaders from the community. Decent justice. Tell me I see you though, family. Jacqueline. Is it people in the community who knows what the people needs? I agree. Totally agree. That's why we got to get it right. We can't leave it to them to get it right. They ain't gonna do it. You know. Facts and more leaders coming. Isis, I got to give thanks for you, man. You ain't easy. Natalie say correct is right. Correct is right. I agree, Natalie. Yes, family. Haile Selassie the First, Empress Menin King, one perfect balance. Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. Brother from another mother. Big things are going. I saw some big onions in the supermarket last week, most likely imported. Well, I'm not even knocking the imported part. My thing is, why we not supplying our own? And then again, to be very truthful, man, I ain't even going to say that. We fade. We can't depend on the outside to feed us. We already know how that's going to go. Outside complaining about food shortages. Every country in the world right now complaining about food shortages, from North America to England, Australia, all over them. Ukraine, Russia, all of them. We can't wait on them. We need to put our thing in motion, but we have a rat infestation. So how we working this thing, family? Follow the chain of events. And now we're travel service. You funny. Our emotion, you funny. He is a dead loss. He promised that the FOI will be brought out in 2018. Anybody see it? We could discuss that going forward, and we probably should, but we gonna focus on what we gotta focus on. Public don't have plans. But y'all need to stop it, man. Y'all being too hard tonight. Plans to come out after the ground and being done. Indians selling everything. I don't blame them. If we buying everything, it makes sense to me. It called business. All right, we good to go, man. Yes, family. I know the vibes in real. Yes, King is King, family. I give thanks for your pre-essence, family. Blessed love to you and your family as well. I know how it go, man. I be feeling it, bro. That's how life is, man. Bajans. Anyhow, family, like I said, it's all right, my brother. They're hard on us. No, they're not hard on us. We allow them to be hard on us. Understand that everybody benefit from our ignorance. So we can't complain. We got to organize. So those of us who know better, God do better. We can't expect the ones who don't know to keep doing what they don't, or what we know they don't know. We got to put something else, a different mechanism in place for them to say, oh, this is an alternative, and then go accordingly. So we can't blame them. We ain't blaming no Indians. We ain't blaming the politicians. We ain't blaming nobody. We blaming ourselves for allowing this to get so far. So since how it's our responsibility and our fault, we're going to nip it in the bud now. We're cutting it short. Simple. We taking charge of our community, family. We're dealing with governance. And like I said, the Fade Initiative up and running. So yeah, stay tuned. Coming to a community near you very soon. And on that note, yes, though, I cannot not do it. I cannot not do it, family. We out of here, but we out of here on this first note, family. Don't fall for it, family. We out.
Hit that beat.
Don't fall for it, family. We out, though. That's how we out tonight, family. KRS-One. Don't fall for it, family.
Fall for it.
Plan your work and then work your plan.
Never let them get you fed up. You just step up, get your rep up, get your cash up, get your check up. The whole system's a setup. It's time we really get up. We've been about this revolution from the time we met up. Take it back, I got my fist up. Malcolm X in 88. A revolution only works for those that will participate. You are great.
Haile Selassie the First, Empress Wazira Menin.
Mental states, conscious people congregate. Show the love, not the hate. This is basic.
One perfect
debate.
balance.
These people are debating and they hating. They should wait. It was bickering amongst ourselves and got us in this state. Yeah, the truth is inconvenient, but the truth is never late. You can't see what they be doing, how they thinking, how they moving. You can't see what they pursuing, making claims, none are proven. Don't fall for it.
Don't fall for it, family.
Don't fall for it.
Don't fall for it, family.
We can see who is the enemy. Sovereignty's the remedy. You don't need telepathy, it's white supremacy. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Bringing the raw, doing a tour. Government officials bringing the law. You never see what you never saw. 303, open the door. Knowledge reigns, that is the game. Ignorance, that is insane. Don't fall for it. The reps and the Dems are the same. This one's shooting us up.
They both the
That one's
same.
fucking us up. This one got us stuck. That one's out of luck. You can front if you need to. The cycle never ends.
This one got us stuck and
But in
that
4
one
years,
out of
they
luck.
hyping us again. Don't fall for it.
BLP,
Don't
DLP.
fall for it. Don't fall for
BLP,
it.
DLP.
Don't fall for it. If you thinking and you earning and you drinking and you burning and you really not concerning with the news and what they learning, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you love it, never hate it. You agree it, don't debate it. HBC, you educated. Your degree is highly rated. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for
Don't
it.
fall for
Don't
it,
you
family.
fall for it. Don't fall for it. Yo, me, I'm not a fake dude. I'ma keep it real. They see through it all that America needs a heel deal. America ain't really sick. This is what it really is. Gunshots and cages for black and brown little kids. Now they acting like they not the cause of how we live. Do not tell me what you gonna do. I can see what you did. Look at her. Look at him. Look at them. Look at me. Do you see our interests represented in society? No, you don't. And you won't. Cause democracy's a joke. Every 4 years
Democracy
it
is a
changes.
joke,
People
family.
asking us to vote. Nothing changed but the Range Rover switching lanes over. I remain the flamethrower. Knowledge reigns, game over. Don't fall.
I
for it.
remain the
Don't you fall
flamethrower,
for it.
family.
Rodney King, George Floyd, man, we all
Anyhow,
saw it.
family,
So don't protest.
see
with
y'all
the
on
mind,
Wednesday,
but don't
man.
move with self-reliance.
Blessed
While the
love,
soul
right?
is being silenced for the religion.
KRS-One.
Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it.